Hi everybody, Doug Bench here with you, the brain training guy. Hey, I got a really timely tip for you today on training your brain. This one's about overcoming procrastination. And you know what I call it? Newton's Law and March Madness. What's that all about? Well, you know we all procrastinate. We put things off and we get mad at ourselves because we procrastinate things. Get over it. Everybody procrastinates. But I've got a tip for you that's going to help you overcome procrastination, and it's based on science, just like every tip I give you is. You know what's going on right now? Here in the United States, we call it March Madness. It's college basketball's finest hour once a year. In the month of March, they set up all those brackets, 64, 68 teams, and then they start playing. And it's one loss and you're out of here. I happen to have a favorite team in that tournament, but I'm not going to tell you about that right now. I might tell you later. But you know what how this relates to overcome procrastination? It's very easy. When you procrastinate, it's nothing to beat yourself up over. We all do it every day. All you're doing is making a choice. You're choosing one thing over another, and then you worry about it because that other thing you should have been doing might be a little bit more important. Well, there's a very easy way for you to overcome this. Y'all know about Sir Isaac Newton and Sir Isaac Newton's laws of conservation and of energy and momentum, etc. Well, one of the things Newton said was a body at rest tends to stay at rest, and a body in motion tends to stay in motion. And there's all kinds of formulas that fit with that, including Einstein's formula about mass and velocity. And the bigger the mass, the harder it is to create velocity, right? Well, here we go. Here's what you do, and procrastination will be a thing of the past for you. List on a sheet of paper everything that you have to get done. List out your to-do list, your honey-do list or you-do list, everything. Do not prioritize them. Do not worry about it. When they come into your head, write them down, line after line after line. Now, after you've got them written out, draw brackets. Like the basketball tournament, like March Madness. Connect the first thing in the list with the second thing in the list. Connect the third thing in the list with the fourth thing in the list, and so on down the list. If you've got an odd number, add an even one at the bottom and make it a by. You know what that means. Now you go back to the top of the list and we're going to play the first game. Those two items are things that you have to get done. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to look at those two things and you decide which one of them is the easiest to do. And then move that out to the winner's bracket. They win that game. Did I say that right? Move the easiest one out? That's right. Move the easiest one out. Then go to number 3 and 4. Move the easiest of those two tasks out to the winner bracket. Then go all the way down through the list doing the same thing, making sure you always move the easier task out to the winner's bracket. And once you get through round 1, go to round 2 of the tournament. Take the winner of the first one, which was the easiest one, versus the winner of the second, which was the easiest one there. Now move the easiest task of those two out to the winner's bracket. You see where we're going here? Pretty soon we're going to be down to the final 4. And those are going to be the final 4 easiest tasks you have to do. Why in the world would you want to get to the easiest task? Well, stay tuned. I'm about to tell you. Once you have the final 4, play the final 4 championship round in the semifinals and move the 2 easiest tasks to the winner's championship game. And then pick one of those 2 as the easiest task for you to achieve. And that's the winner of your March Madness. That's your priorities, not the toughest task, the easy one. I got a question for you. This is kind of Isaac Newton sitting there in front of the apple tree with the apple bonking him on the head. Which is easier to get into motion? A train with 120 coal cars filled with coal, or a train with 1 passenger car that's empty? Which is easier to get moving? That's right, it's the lighter one. So why should you start with the toughest task? All these motivational gurus and stuff tell you, start with your toughest task. No way. That's hog manure. That's hard to do. Start with your easiest task to build up the motion, to build up the momentum. Heck, I call it falling forward fast. It's really easy to start with your easiest task. Take a tiny step forward and you probably accomplished your easiest one, and then you go on to the next easiest one. So you got momentum. You got momentum building up, and it's really easy to build up that momentum. Once you have that momentum build up, then switch over to your tough task. Once you're moving at lickety-split 90 miles an hour, not when you're sitting on the couch watching the basketball games. Start with your easiest task, and procrastination will be a total thing of the past for you. Start with the easiest one, then work your way up to the hardest. And you know what I do sometimes? I take something that's not even in the list. Not even in the list. I go out the brackets to find my easiest thing to do, and if I can't even start doing that one, I'll do something totally unrelated. I'll take out the trash, I'll do the dishes, anything to get the momentum started. It's Newton's law. A body at rest tends to remain at rest, and the heavier that body is, the harder the task is, the more likely you are to stay at rest. Get over it. Procrastination can be easily overcome by starting with the easiest task. It's March Madness in the Final Four and Sir Isaac Newton. There's your brain training tip for today. And I did mention to you that I have a favorite team in the March Madness this year. Go Buckeyes! This is Doug, the brain training guy. Until next time. Have a great one. And procrastination officially dead for you with March Madness. Bye, everybody.